What we'll do now is focus for a moment on what the American media is saying about President Obama's visit. Is there a frenzy like there is in India? How are they covering this visit? Let's start with the New York Times, which says that Obama clears a hurdle to better ties with India. President Barak Obama and his Indian counterpart broke through a 5-year impasse on Sunday to pave the way for American companies to build nuclear power plants in India as the two countries sought to transform a fraught geopolitical relationship into a fresh partnership for a new era. Let's now get reactions from our guests on the response in the American media, the manner in which this is being covered, the response also in the Indian media, and what should viewers look forward to today on day 2 of the Obama visit. I'll start with Ajay Shukla.
Well, today, of course, the big one is going to be the Republic Day parade. It's the symbolic highlight of this visit.
A lot of the top weapon systems in India are not being displayed during this Republic Day parade.
Well, it's very interesting that you mentioned that. The longest range missile will be the Indian BrahMos missile, which is less than 300 kilometers. Now, this is the first Republic Day parade in a long time where an Indian ballistic missile is not being displayed.
Why is that?
Hard to tell. I mean, are the Indians displaying sensitivity in inverted commas to US concerns about India's missile capability? And that's something which was a long way in the past, I thought. It's even more surprising given that an impending launch is coming up of the Agni 5 missile. The Agni 5 missile is likely to be launched day after tomorrow on a test launch in an operational configuration. So one would, in a situation like this, assume that the DRDO would highlight one of its emerging capabilities. But no,
General Shankar Prasad, you've had an opportunity to go through this pamphlet, which has details about the weapon systems that will be on display. Why is it that the cutting-edge technology that we do have is not being put out today?
I'm not too sure. Is it because we are looking for more technology and more cutting technology from America now?
So you want to show them we don't have anything?
So we don't have, let's get something from you. You got a lot of market over here, and let's get your companies to come and make here and equip us with more modern weapons. Besides that, I really can't understand why. I mean, every year the intention is to put in our best foot forward and our maximum capability. But perhaps it can't be for security reasons. I really can't fathom anything beyond that.
Okay. Samir Saran, your sense of why?
I have a different take on it. I think, and this is completely, as a child, I remember the Republic Day being a place where we would display, my father would take me to basically reassure me that India has capacities to protect you. I think we have moved on. Now this is the moment when the man the country that was supposedly on the other side of the fence is today standing with you on Republic Day. And I think this is about economics, this is about partnership, this is about being confident. This is not really about weapons anymore. It's about two big leaders standing together at the podium and talking. And I think Modi is going to be showcasing his 4 pet schemes: the smart cities, the
Beti Padhao,
financial inclusion, the Beti Bachao. So the 4 or 5. Correct. The 4 or 5 big schemes which are about transforming India are going to be showcased this time. And you don't need weapon systems when 2 big leaders are standing.
And it's interesting, Ambassador Casey, think that the theme this year is women's empowerment. You had a woman officer lead the Guard of Honor yesterday. You'll have women officers in the parade today, all women contingents from all the 3 services. A big message there being sent by the Prime Minister.
That's correct. It's for them to decide what you want to bring the emphasis on, and that's what they bring it. Frankly, I don't know the reason why the military side is not. Actually, it's anachronistic. Which country does it now? The communist countries used to do it. The Soviet leadership lined up there, Mao standing there in the Tiananmen Square. But out of the democracies in the West, hardly any. French do it sometimes. But you don't really do it. And if you ask me, actually, it should be taken a stage further. I don't think you need to parade all over central Delhi and shut it up for a month. Because this is the age of the television. You can do it in Nehru Stadium and the whole country sees it. Those were the days when, you stretched it so that more people could see it.
Yeah.
So we need a rethink on it, rethink on the composition, rethink on how a democracy behaves rather than displaying. Maybe technically speaking, you can say, because you are going to be joining these regimes, MTCR and Missile Technology Control Regime, only BrahMos is regime compliant in that sense. So maybe you don't want to go there. because
Don't
you're
want
going
to
to be
create
joining.
trouble
I
with
don't
your
know.
guest.
I don't know what is the reason for
That
that.
could only be
but
that could be possibly the only plausible
There's
explanation.
no MTCR issue here because missile technology control regime is only for transference of technologies, controlling the This is an entirely indigenous missile development program.
No, true, but you want civilian space cooperation with US.
Okay, I want to go out to our reporters
then
out in
that
the field.
becomes
Simi
dual
Pasha
use.
is joining
Dual
us.
use comes
Simi,
in.
I was concerned deeply about the weather. It was raining this morning. Is it clearing up? The sky is opening up to ensure that no one has any problems when they're marching down Rajpath?
No, Rahul, no sign of the clouds clearing up. It's in fact still drizzling right now, but the rain is unlikely to dampen
All
the
those
spirit
wet
of Republic Day. We've been seeing a lot of excitement amongst people also. In fact, we met a couple of people who had been walking all the way from Red Fort, and they were on their way from ITO towards Rajpath. Some of those people had come from Bihar, they'd come all the way from Assam. And you know, Rahul, there's not just excitement about Barack Obama. He's the first president of the United States of America to witness the parade live as chief guest, but also about Narendra Modi. People want to see Narendra Modi, and this is an opportunity they want to miss out on. Of course, the parade is also people are excited about the parade as well. Floats from every state will be marching on Rajpath, along with contingents of the Indian Army, Defence, and the Army, Air Force, and the Navy. But lots of excitement. The rain playing spoil sport, that's unlikely to dampen the spirit of Republic Day. In fact, public announcement systems across the capital have been playing patriotic songs, and people are happy. There's a spirit of there's an upbeat spirit on the streets. People, in fact, we spoke to some of them. They woke up as early as 4 o'clock in the morning only so that they could get front row seats, or at least try and get as closer to Rajpath as they can to witness the parade live.
You know, that's very interesting because usually there's a high level of fatigue because Prime Minister Modi is doing this in such a high-profile fashion. People very charged up and keen on ensuring that they get the best seats. Maha Siddiqui is joining us from the ITC Moria Hotel. Maha, do we know what Michelle Obama is going to be doing? Because yesterday we couldn't quite figure out what she did apart from attending the ceremonial banquet in the evening. Does she have a plan like last time when she was singing and dancing, doing a Bollywood number outside of the president's own commitments?
She will come to the parade.
No, Rahul. Unfortunately, this time there is no solo event for the US First Lady, Michelle Obama. Unlike last time around where she kind of mesmerized the people with her dance steps.
Why is that? Do we know why that is? What are your sources in the American embassy telling you?
President Barack Obama on most of the events. Well, initially they were preparing a list out for her for a couple of events like last time around. But suddenly towards the end, Rahul, just one day before they were set to leave, there was a briefing that said that there will be no solo event. No real reasons were stated for that, but perhaps there was an inkling that they would have had that this visit anyway would be cut short by half a day because the US President has to go to Saudi Arabia as well, and perhaps that's the reason that her solo events could have been called off. But that's just a conjecture. No real reason was stated, Rahul, by the White House as to why she's not holding any solo events. But if you know, Rahul, one has to see the kind of events that Barack Obama is also attending, with the parade being the highlight. Clearly, I mean, she really doesn't have time out of that to do anything else, because the parade in itself will be so enchanting that she would have wanted to be there, as well as the other
no, but she has other opportunities, Casey Singh. When the two principals are with the CEOs this evening, there's an opportunity. Why is she not doing anything?
See, normally what happens is, here the problem is that Prime Minister doesn't have an official hostess or a wife in residence. And the president had the daughter, but the daughter is going and fighting an election. So she can't be there now. So as a result, there's no official hostess. Normally you would bond with the official hostess and she'd probably take you around and, you know, have some event, a corresponding event. You'll normally see first ladies.
No, but last time when she did stuff in Mumbai.
No, you remember when she had gone to California, then she's wife remained away because Michelle never went there to California. So then she's wife was out of the picture. So if there's no corresponding first lady, generally you stick out like a sore thumb.
Then Shankar Prasad is a different take.
Casey, a minister in waiting, a lady minister in waiting, or a lady politician.
It's not the same.
No, it's not the same.
As bonding with the first lady. I gave you Shi's example.
No. I really don't see any past history on this. on most occasions, these ladies of first senior guests coming in are accompanied by some lady minister or some lady member of parliament or some important political or social worker of India. I am a bit surprised why she wasn't there even at Rajghat yesterday. Most of the time when the heads of state come, their wives are always there with them if they're accompanying them. So there is something more to what is really meeting the eye. And I mean, I really, actually, yesterday one television channel did show some lady who is her kind of liaison officer or whatever you like to call her.
Or Mr. Modi doesn't want to share the stage with anyone. You put a high-profile lady there, then part of the focus goes there.
Well,
that is all.
That lady is supposed to look after the lady. That's
no,
it.
cameras will go there. Like you're asking the question now. You put Smriti Irani with her.
No, what is interesting?
You can't keep Smriti Irani under the covers. She will.
No, certainly. Yeah. But what is interesting is that she is not visible. The whole of yesterday she was not visible, except for the dinner. And today she's perhaps going to come to the parade. But after that, again, there is nothing for her. So is it because of security reasons, or is it because the Prime Minister has a particular desire or design on it? I'm not too sure.
Okay, we don't want to unnecessarily speculate too much. We will, of course, dig into this mystery of the missing Michelle. Where is she? What's she up to? We'll find out more and come back with some more hard facts. I want to go across now to Preeti Chaudhary. Preeti, give our viewers a sense of the mood amongst the people who are coming in to watch this Republic Day parade. How do you compare it with Republic Days in years gone by?
You know, for starters, you know, Rahul, I don't quite share that positivity with Simi had there about the weather, because it's turning out to be a huge dampener. It's incessantly raining through last night. In the morning, you know, we'd of course seen those, you know, the people who got up early morning lining up, wanting to get in. But it's cold, incessantly raining, and it's a logistical nightmare, especially for the security forces. We've been trying to talk to them. They're trying to divert people. You know, put it all in perspective, because most people are walking 2 kilometers to reach India Gate to find their stands. And in this weather, it's turning out to be a fair bit of a nightmare. We are trying to speak to them. So a lot of disappointment where the weather is concerned. But of course, everybody does want to watch the show that Narendra Modi is going to put out there, especially with Barack Obama by his side. So in that context, if you compare it atmospheric-wise, it's huge. But when you actually come down to logistically and you look at the weather, well, it's playing a huge, huge dampener. Nobody expected this, Rahul. Everybody thought we'd wake up to a
so
bright
what happens,
sunny day,
Preeti, if it keeps raining, they just march on regardless of the rain?
Yes, they've done it before. They're going to do it again. But you know what it will take away? It will take away from all those people, and there have been hundreds, thousands of them who've come in from across the country to witness this spectacle, and it'll be a huge dampener for them. The parade, yes, will carry on. What we are getting to know at this juncture is, wherever school children are involved, if it continues the way it is, and it's incessantly drizzling, and it's getting only stronger with what we can see right now. So where the children are concerned, who are participating from schools, that might not take place. And once again, because that will, cause an issue in the kind of, the itinerary, the program there. But on the other side, the show will go on. But having said that,
but spare a thought also, Emma Shivatia, for all those young kids who've been practicing several weeks for this big moment. This was their big opportunity that they'd be talking about decades from now. And it's literally raining on their parade.
Yeah, but, these are weather phenomena, and it should not really dampen the spirits of the people who are actually going to be marching past. And as you know, I've been in the armed forces at least, that this kind of weather does not really deter you in going past. And I think as far as the surface contingents are concerned, they will certainly go past. The only problem would perhaps be with regard to the fly past. Because if there are low clouds and it keeps raining, then even if they fly, today they can fly blindly, but they won't be visible to the crowds. So I don't
And this time I think we're taking the added precaution of having only fighter aircraft which have at least 2 engines. They're the only ones that will be flying past. There's no single engine aircraft that will be flying past.
Well, actually there's not, that much of a constraint, but yes, now we have got sizable numbers of twin engine aircraft, and perhaps they want to just show those, and they are more modern. I'm talking about the Su-30s, for example, or the MiG-29s, which are going to fly. But I think the more concentration this time was to showcase basically the latest acquisitions, which is the C-17, for example, and of course the C-130, and the Navy was to showcase their acquisition P-8I aircraft, and so that was it.
Okay, so what we'll do right now is slip into a quick break. When we come back, we'll give our viewers a sneak peek of all the weapon systems that will be on display and what you should be looking out for once the Republic Day March Past actually begins. So what is it that President Obama and you will get to see? Even as the Prime Minister pulled off a big diplomatic coup with the operationalization of the nuclear deal, there are some activists who want their Mann Ki Baat to reach the American President and the Prime Minister.
A warm embrace and smiles, obvious bonhomie on display, and a deal in place, the operationalization of the much-touted nuclear deal. But for those who have suffered for years, their Mann Ki Baat remains unheard.
अमेरिकी राष्ट्रपति बराक ओबामा के भारत यात्रा से पहले हम आपको याद दिलाना चाहते हैं कि 1984 का भोपाल गैस कांड सिर्फ एक दुखद दुर्घटना ही नहीं था, बल्कि एक ऐसी आपदा थी जिसे टाला जा सकता था।
It has been 30 years, but Rashidabi's fight is not yet over. On a cold December night in 1984, her life turned upside down.
दुनिया की सबसे बड़ी त्रासदी भोपाल जो हुआ उसके लिए हम लोगों ने मिलने का वक्त मांगा और उन्होंने मिलने का वक्त नहीं दिया.
Survivors continue to be haunted by the Union Carbide disaster and believe the US is still answerable.
We are hoping that President Obama will listen to the voices of the survivors and the victims and stand up to this occasion because the United States government has a responsibility in ensuring that companies that are based in the US are held accountable for human rights violations.